For many years now, everyone, I've been using AquaQuest tarps for my adventures, and amongst those tarps that I've purchased, the biggest one is the Safari 20 foot by 13 foot monster. That is a massive tarp that weighs 4.5 pounds. It has 25 tie-out points. It features a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head rating, and it's fantastic not only for backpacking purposes but also for overland. I love that tarp. It really has treated me well over the years and has offered a ton of protection no matter what the conditions are. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, snowstorms, wind, and so on. It's a great product and I do not regret buying it by any means. I purchased that tarp years ago. Now recently I received an email from a guy named Ray, a viewer, and he said that he had seen all of the adventures that I've done with the Safari tarp and he would be interested to see what I could do with the Defender version of that tarp. This week, the Defender arrived. Thanks to Ray. My friend, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, buddy. This is the Defender version of the 20 foot by 13 foot tarp. This tarp has 47 tie-off points. It weighs 9.2 pounds, and it features a 20,000 millimeter hydrostatic head rating. That's insane. This episode is all about the Defender tarp, and I cannot wait to take a look at it. Ray, thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Everyone, my name is Luke. This is the Outdoor Gear Review. Thanks for tuning in. This is the storage bag that this massive tarp goes into. I mean, as you all can see here, this is huge. This is 16 inches by 9 inches by 5 inches. And again, this weighs 9.2 pounds. With the tarp laid out on the ground, it's difficult to get it all into frame here, and I'm using a wide-angled lens. Again, folks, this is 20 feet by 13 feet. We have 47 reinforced tie-off points. We have a reinforced strip that goes down the center, and we have 3 reinforced strips that go across the body. This is 1, 2, and 3. Talking about the tie-off points, we have them all the way around the perimeter of the tarp, but also across the body. Not only this way, but this way. I'm going to set up this gigantic tarp now, and I'll bring you all back as soon as I'm done. First things first, I need to guy this thing out. As you all can see, the tarp has been set up and it's a monster. I'm not sure how clearly it comes through just how big this is. This is a massive tarp that offers a ton of protection, and underneath it is a ton of space. A tarp large enough for 8 people to sleep on cots underneath it very comfortably. You can even fit even more if you wanted to. Take a look at this tarp with me standing underneath it. Look at how tall this is. Look at how long and wide. Without a doubt, this is a massive tarp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes about 5 seconds to walk from one end to the other. That's how big this is. I wish that I brought my drone with me. I didn't think about it, but that really would have shown just how much area this is taking up. I mean, we're looking at like 240 square feet, something like that. It's a ton of space. Now, luckily, the company does offer other sizes that are much more manageable than this one here. You may be wondering what someone would do with a 20 foot by 13 foot tarp. Now, for myself, with the Safari version, which weighs half as much as this, I take it backpacking. Having a tarp that large out in the forest is fantastic for rainy adventures, especially in those situations where you need to stay dry. Having this much protection, it's incredible. Also, I like to use tarps of this size for overlanding. You can have the tarp going from one end of the vehicle to the other, one side of the vehicle to the other. You can set them up in so many different ways. When it comes to the AquaQuest Defender Tarp, you can find this in numerous sizes and styles. You can find rectangular shaped tarps along with square tarps. The company offers this in a 10 foot by 7, a 10 by 10, a 13 by 10, a 15 by 15, and the 20 foot by 13 foot. This tarp is made from a 70 denier ripstop nylon that has been TPU coated. The waterproof rating is 20,000. It weighs 9.2 pounds. The price of this is $230, and it is available in a number of colors. What you're looking at here is stealth gray, but you can find this in forest green, olive drab, woodland camo, and other camos as well. One thing I really appreciate about this company is that they offer different levels of tarps, depending on how strong, how heavy, how waterproof you need the tarp to be. The lowest level level is the Guide Tarp. Then you have Safari, and then you have the Heavy Duty Defender. With the Guide Tarps, those are the lowest level of strength and waterproofness that they offer. They are also the lightest tarps. Then you have Safari, which is somewhat of a hybrid. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit more waterproof, but still fairly lightweight. Then you have the Heavy Duty Tarps like this one here. This one goes all out in terms of strength and waterproofness. They are designed for the most extreme of conditions. When it comes to the Guide Tarps, which is the lowest level of protection and waterproofness that they offer, those tarps still are super strong. I've had them out in like 35-mile-an-hour winds, strong thunderstorms, sideways rain, just crazy conditions, and I've never had a problem. The same is true for the Safari line of tarps from AquaQuest. Again, super strong, extremely waterproof. Now when you compare the Defender to those tarps, there's a huge difference. I mean, folks, this is a step and above, maybe even 3 or 4 steps above the others. As soon as you go hands-on with it, the material feels the same, but you can tell the coatings are different. They're thicker. There's a lot more webbing on this tarp, a lot more tie-off points. Every single tie-off point has been reinforced, and it's a whole lot heavier, no doubt about it. Every tarp that you purchase from the company, you get a lifetime warranty. That's impressive. That makes you feel better about buying a product that costs this much money. $230 is a lot of money for a tarp. The thing is, when you're going out to look for a tarp that's this big, they're hard to find, and those that you can find tend to be made from a really inexpensive, very weak polyester. So what we have here is some of the best materials out on the market today. Extremely strong, thick, heavily coated, super waterproof. I do need to mention this, everyone. I have not tested out this product yet, so in a way I am getting ahead of myself, but based upon all of my experiences with this company, with their products, I have no doubt that this is going to be a fantastic tarp. I've never had a single failure from an AquaQuest tarp. And speaking of which, when it comes to tarps, this is the company that I personally recommend to my viewers. You should know this. I have no connection to the company. If you buy a tarp, I don't care. I get no money from it. I'm just sharing with you all my personal experiences. Every single year, I put my life in the hands of AquaQuest tarps. I take them out in the rain, out in the snow, out in the ice. Sometimes I'm backpacking, sometimes I'm overlanding. Speaking of overlanding, that's where this tarp is going to shine. Again, everyone, this is a big tarp. It's a heavy tarp. Backpacking with a 10-pound tarp, that's not going to make sense for most people. Now, if you're some sort of guide, that makes a whole lot of sense, but for the average Joe, for the average camping trip, even the average family trip, this may not make any sense. In most conditions, the Safari 20 foot by 13 foot, that does make more sense. The weight's about half as much. It's insanely waterproof and also very strong. What I'm looking forward to this winter is getting out with the truck, with this tarp, setting it up, and enjoying some good snow with you all. Let's cross our fingers and hope it actually happens. We shall see. No matter what though, I'm going to be out with this tarp trip after trip, and I cannot wait to see how well it performs. Already, I'm very impressed. Let's talk about quality. The overall quality that I'm seeing here is excellent. I'm not seeing any loose threads. All of the seam tape looks good. I see no issues, none at all. As far as the color goes, the company calls this stealth gray. I don't know exactly how this would be used for stealth camping because it stands out like a sore thumb. Maybe if you're in Afghanistan or something or other, maybe it would, but no matter what, I do like the color of this tarp. It looks sick. Talking about setting up this tarp, because it weighs so much, because it's so big, it is a chore to set this up. And I can tell you all from my experiences with the 20 foot by 13 foot Safari tarp, it is a true task to dry it off. So let's say that you go out for a trip, it gets soaking wet, you then have to take that thing somewhere to dry it off. If you have a huge yard, a big garage, no big deal. But if you don't have those things, you have to consider that. A 20 foot by 13 foot tarp, you could struggle with drying it off, and it's something that you have to do every single time. If you want your gear to last, you have to take care of it. And with that being said, folks, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. This was a first look at the AquaQuest Defender 20 foot by 13 foot tarp. Ray, my friend, thank you so much for sending this in. I appreciate it. I know the community does as well. Also, thank you so much for the 15 foot by 15 foot heavy duty Defender AquaQuest tarp as well. You really went above and beyond, and I do appreciate it, and I know the community does as well. I should mention this, everyone, with this being a gift, that does not change anything about my review, my ultimate review of this product. If it's good, I'll say so. If it's bad, I'll say so. If I see an issue, I'll report on it. Just because a viewer sent this to me does not mean that my review is going to be tainted. I will review this product from the eyes of the purchaser. So if there's something good to say, I'll say it. If I discover something bad with my testing, not only will I report on it, but I'll show you all that failure or the issue. Yeah, folks, this is very impressive. I wish you all can feel this, the coating on this. I mean, this is substantial. It's quite a bit thicker. You can feel the difference between this and the Safari tarp. With the Safari tarp, I've spent hundreds of nights underneath it. With the guide tarp, dozens and dozens. I can tell you all that AquaQuest makes amazing tarps. And the only reason that I recommend them is because those products have treated me so well. They have protected me from the elements. Anyways, folks, I could talk about tarps and I could talk about materials all day long, but I'm going to stop. I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to bore you. Some people can talk geek about cell phones and computers. Some people can talk geek about cars. I can speak geek about gear. Anyways, folks, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. It helps a lot. Make sure to comment down below and share your thoughts about this tarp and also your questions. In the future review, I will answer those questions. For now, I'm done. Ray, thank you again. Everyone take care, be well. Strength and honor. Oh, by the way, coming up very soon, we will take a look at the 15-foot by 15-foot square tarp, the Defender. Thanks again to Ray. Oh, yeah.